Hi, my name is Carlos, and today we're going to learn about parabolas. And this is for the conic sections unit that you will probably learn in your second semester of precalculus if you do academic precalculus. And if you already taken this course, you can always come back to this video and watch this if that helps you out. I know that I'm not following a steady pace, but you can always slow down the voice and it slows down the speed of the video so you can understand clearly. Okay, so let's start with parabolas. All right, a parabola is like a quadratic, but it's facing to the left, equal face to the right, upwards or downwards. So we gotta know some rules before graphing them because we wanna learn how to graph them, how to solve them. And what I mean solve them is when we are given an equation that is not on vertex form and we have to convert it. So let's start by knowing some things, all right? First, we have to know our equations. What are our equations exactly? Our equations to know is just a vertex formula but just arranged in different ways. The normal one, which is the most, wait, okay. The normal one, which is the most easiest one to remember, which will be most of the times in y, in terms of y, is going to be y equals a times x minus h squared plus k. And we also will have x equals a times y minus k squared plus h. You see, we have two different equations. Oh, now I see why it's different. Okay, so this one this one will open up or down. Okay, and it could be up if it's vertical. Obviously it's going to be vertical. It's going to be vertical your parabola if it's up or down. Okay, it will go to the left. Wait, why is that there? Oh, my bad. I didn't erase this part. I'm sorry. Okay, and the other one will be left or right. If you want to remember this, just know that x is horizontal, y is vertical, so you can like relate terms, words, whatever it helps out. This one will be right, left, and it looks like this. It could also look like a C, but it sometimes looks like another C. Okay, so how do we graph this? What do we have to know to graph this? In most of the courses, you will be asked to know the axis of symmetry, the directrix, the focus, the focal width, the the eccentricity for a parabola. And just remember, for any parabola, your eccentricity will always be 1. Okay? Will always be 1. So let's begin with an example really quickly and let's see. Let's say we have the equation x equals -1/8 times y minus 3 squared plus 1. You know what? Let's make a negative one. Yeah, that's better. How do we graph this? So we want to know how to graph this equation. You just have to know your basics. So we will have the focus, we'll have the center or the vertex. We will also have the directrix, the axis of symmetry, focal width, which is 4c. Focal width will tell us how many units do we go from the focus on each direction, up or down or left or right, depending on what we're doing. It will be up or down if we're facing right or left, and vice versa. Let's begin with the center. Oops. Well, the center is going to be an easy one because you can remember that for any y equals equation, your h and k are in different positions. This one will be your h and this one will be your k. You just have to remember the relationship between k and h. I mean, between h, k, x, and y. H will always go with x, and k will always go with y. So in this case, our k value, which means the units we go up, is going to be free, and the shift to the right or left will be -1. So that means our vertex is going to be -1, comma 3. Oops. I don't know why is this. Okay, so it's -1. Done. We know our center. Now we want to graph the rest of the equation. You can do like a graph like this. How do we know where to put this? Well, this is our vertex, so that will go in -1, 3. We're basically done with that one. Now we have to know our focus. We can get our focus from this. The focus is C units to the face we're going to. Oh, yes, I forgot. Whenever we're graphing, we have to know to which direction we're looking at. So if we have an x equals something, that must mean that we are going to be looking left or right. In this case, we're going to be looking at the left. So our focus will be C units to the left. And how do we get the focus? So another thing we have to remember, 1 over 4c is a. So if we know that a is -1 over 8, we can just set up an equation here. Wow, that was a very big zoom. So negative. Oh yes. If it's negative, you don't have to you don't have to worry about that. Just worry about the a, which is this. Where okay, this will equal 1 over 4c. If you wanna do some type of, well, c is just 2 because 2 times 4 is 8. So where's our focus going to be? -3, comma 3. Why? Because we move 2 units to the left from our vertex or center. Okay, so our focus is going to be 1 unit, 2 units. It's going to be in this place. Wait, why does that look? Okay, so it's going to be a -3, 3. This is the focus. So the focus is going to be at -3, 3, and axis of symmetry. The axis of symmetry is the line that cuts the parabola in half, and it always passes through the vertex and the focus. The directrix is on is other thing, so that was my mistake. So this will be y equals 3. The focal width, we know our c value is 2, so we will have a length of 8. And to graph other points of this, we're just going to take 8 and divide it by 2, because that's, oh my god, it's 4 units to this location, to this location. So 1, 2, 3, and 4 right over here, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, and you graph it like this. It doesn't have to look perfect. Here's my pulse, my bad, and we want to know the directrix. The directrix is c units on in the opposite direction, so that will be to the right. And we don't have to do a point for this one. We just have to do like a line. So it's 1, 2, and we do this like this. Easy enough? Yes. X equals 1, and we're done. It's just that easy. And that is how you map out a horizontal parabola. Hopefully, this makes graphing your conic sections a whole lot easier. Thanks for watching, and let me know in the comments if you want me to cover something else about this. I will cover also completing the square. And well, that's it. Thank you for watching. Bye.